Konnan, did you watch SmackDown Friday?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so the show opens up with
Well, hang on. I have the ratings ready for once. You want them?
The ratings for Smack. What's the ratings? SmackDown did a big number, right?
2.32 million, down 5% from the previous week, but it topped all the television with a 0.63 in the coveted 18 to 49 demo. Nothing else on Friday was above a 0.43. So
right, and what? Okay, so all right, so SmackDown opens up with Jay and Jimmy arriving at the show, and Jay is wanting to know where the tribal chief is, and Paul Heyman hugs him. And Jay tells him to find out. Let me know when you find Reigns. Jay said he would save his comment. Caleb Braxton showed up and asked Jay why he turned on Zayn. He said he would have comment. He'd comment about it later, right? So we open up with the 5-way for the Intercontinental title shot. It's Drew and Sheamus against LA Knight and Cross and Xavier Woods. 17 minutes and 35 seconds. A lot of theatrics in this match. Now is they stop and do a lot of like storytelling, like when the action stops, they'll do a lot of facials, guys like confronting each other and stuff. Everything like a lot of acting. This wasn't like a complete spot fest,
right.
but
and
they
like
do
storytelling, like when Imperium came out.
Right. So, but it ends up with Sheamus and Drew pinning Woods and LA Knight at the same time, which basically, I guess they're tied for the match to fight Gunther. So, what'd you think of this?
Hello?
Yeah, what'd you think of this?
Good.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I thought this match was really good for an opener and a very hot crowd, which always helps. I like at the end, like when what do you call this? When LA Knight and Cross were kind of working together, and then kind of Knight tried to steal a pin on Sheamus, and then they kind of turned on each other. I like that little storyline, that little thing that happened there. Then the simultaneous finish at the end, and the people were chanting triple threat. And I was thinking, well, this might be a triple threat match, but it looks like it isn't.
Well, it might be. Still, I don't know.
According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, obviously, LA Knight got a huge babyface reaction at Madison Square Garden. And usually when things get over at Madison Square Garden, they kind of go with it. So the rumor is he's going to get a huge push after WrestleMania. And SAP has reported that the companies continue to make pitches to Steve Austin, and one of the pitches involves a match or a segment with LA Knight. So that would be really big for him if he could even get in the ring with him for a segment,
Yeah. So Heyman was interviewed by Braxton in the backstage shed, and he said Cody Rhodes gets upset when the Bloodline mentions members of the family. Then he got involved in Bloodline business, which is family business. Then Heyman spoke about taking a gangster or truth approach when it came to Rhodes. He credited Reigns with saying the most gangster thing he could do is hit Rhodes with the truth due to the emotional baggage he never knew existed, which would leave Cody defeated before he even got to WrestleMania. And Heyman spoke about how Rhodes will have to choose a time to truthfully acknowledge Reigns once he loses to him. So Rey Mysterio is named the first entrant of the WWE Hall of Fame class, and they showed highlights. Then he was introduced. He comes out, dressed in street clothes with a mask on, and tried to speak, but then the Judgment Day interrupts Dominic and all those guys. Dominic called it pathetic for WWE inducting a washed-up old man into the Hall of Fame, and Dom questioned how many holidays and soccer games that Rey missed so he could make his Hall of Fame career. Dom entered the ring along with the rest of his crew and said he's ashamed to be Rey's son. Then Legado del Fantasma showed up, Santos with Joaquin and Cruz, Del Toro and Zelina Vega. And basically they got in the ring and had words with them, and that leads to a match, a six-man, with the Judgment Day against Legado del Fantasma. And basically the Judgment Day goes over here. So because I guess Del Toro rode up Dom and had him pinned, but Priest basically it's just a distraction finish, and the heels go over. So after the match, I'll have you talk about this when the whole segment's over, Konnan. But after the match, the Judgment Day members stood in the ring, and Dom had a mic and said he wanted to have a heart-to-heart conversation with his dad. So Ray joined Dom inside the ring. Dom had a lot of heat here, and he told Ray that he didn't understand why WWE was inducting him in the Hall of Fame. The only Hall of Fame belongs is for deadbeat dads, and said he should have been Eddie Guerrero's son. He dropped the mic and told Ray to hit him. Then Dom shoved Ray down, and they continued to goad him, and then Ray teased leaving, and Dom tried to take another cheap shot, but Ray moved, and then Dom fell through the ropes, and Ray yelled that he won't fight Dom no matter what he does. He said, "But you will," Dom yelled while the other Judgment members held him back. What'd you think about this?
I thought good heat because they were showing his video package, and then the Judgment Day comes out and interrupts it. And then, good match. I like at the end, Damian Priest hits with a super kick, and Dom pins him to get more heat because he didn't do it himself. You know, and I like. Did you see when Dom hit Ray with that baseball slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, he almost put him into the first row.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah.
So next, Charlotte Flair backstage tells Adam Pearce she wants a match. Whatever. The Viking Raiders wrestle Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Good big man stuff here. Braun is a very entertaining character because he's got like his little gimmicks, like the freight train running around the ring.
Right. He knows that gets over. He rips open his shirt.
Right.
You know, he already knows I'm going to get a pop here, and he doesn't do much more than that.
But they get the match ends with the Viking Raiders, the big splash on the Ricochet, which looks really good and looks like it should be a finish, and it was because he had a big giant fat guy that splashed a little guy from the top rope. So it was whatever.
Ricochet is so underrated, or maybe underutilized would be the better word. But then they did this thing that I thought this is kind of corny. I think Michael Cole said that Bahala, the girl that's with them, had put a spell on Ricochet. And
Are
I
you
was
serious?
Like, yes. And I was like, I thought we were done with this corner.
Oh, that's what Powell's POV. Cole said Valhalla seemed to put a spell on Ricochet. Ugh.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so backstage Gunther was upset because he knows the difference between challenger and challengers. So because he said he wanted a challenger at the title. Challengers is plural. So Pierce booked Sheamus versus McIntyre to next week to determine which would be the challenger for Gunther next week. I thought that was a good promo by Gunther because it made a lot of sense.
Right.
You know? Charlotte Flair against Shotzi. This was not. Shotzi looked green here, and it made the match look like. I think there were some spots that were.
Bro, there were.
I saw a lot of.
They were completely off.
There were timing issues. It was sloppy. And I don't know why, because Shotzi's usually solid and Flair can carry people with less experience. I don't buy Charlotte as a face. She's very heelish in demeanor. And then she did a promo with Rhea Ripley at the end.
Right. Yeah.
And she just comes off as very heelish, you know? And this was basically a squash match like a long squash match. This must have gone over. Didn't need to go over 5 minutes, and it did.
Yeah, it was 8.
Yeah.
But then the promo with her and Ripley was pretty basic,
all right.
So,
Bro, they haven't done anything to ratchet up to the next level, you know?
Right.
There hasn't been no real physicality. There hasn't been nobody leaving somebody, and leaving with heat. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So next is we're getting the explanation. Jimmy and Jay come out. Jay asked the fans if they want to know why he did it. It says because I had to. Oh, wait, actually, hang on. It said, Jay said people have asked him why he did what he did to Sami Zayn, and Jay hesitated and told the fans to switch roles and step in his shoes. What would you do, Jay asked. Jay spoke about the things that people would do for their family members. Jay asked the fans if they want to know why he did it. He said, because I had to. I didn't want to do it, but I didn't have a choice. I never had a choice because he's my twin, he's my brother, he's my family, and not you. And Jay told the fans that they are not his family and they don't know what he's going through. And there's one person I blame, and that is you, Sami Zayn, Jay said. He claimed that Zayn was going to let his brother get clipped. He said Sami just had to fall in line. Jay said Sami isn't blood and never will be. And Jimmy said they got rid of the Sami Zayn problem, and the only problem remaining is Cody Rhodes. And Jimmy asked Cody what his issue is. Cody made his entrance and stood in the ring while telling the Usos, stood in the aisle while telling the Usos that if they're going to talk to him, they should talk directly to him. Cody said they answer directly to Reigns, but he does not. And Cody said he answers to the fans, and Cody said it sounded like the fans didn't want to hear them talk, they wanted to see them fight. Jimmy warned that Cody wouldn't make it to WrestleMania if he took another step. Then Jimmy threatened that they would do to Cody what they did to Zayn. And Sami Zayn entered the ring and attacked Jimmy, and Cody entered the ring and ended up fighting with Jay into the crowd, and basically this turned into a brawl, and Cody and Zayn cleared the Usos from the ring, and Cody held up Zayn's arm while the Usos were held back by referees and producers at ringside to close the show. They're obviously setting this up for a pretty high-rated profile match on SmackDown or Raw, where Sammy and Cody will team against the Uso brothers, and we'll probably get some storytelling there with Roman and Kevin Owens, I'm imagining.
Yeah, the only thing that jumped out to me, because it's obviously storyline progression, and I'm okay with it, but was I just felt that, and maybe I'm being over analytical, I just didn't feel like Jay was comfortable when he was speaking. I don't know if that's by design. Maybe
I thought it was a good promo. I thought
like I said, maybe I'm overanalyzing it.
Yeah.
I just thought he didn't look comfortable, and maybe they told him when you're on the mic, look conflicted.
Yeah. Because he did. I thought that made it. You know,
No, I'm not. I might be wrong. Yeah.
All right, that's been our SmackDown review.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.